There we go.
Are you going to open it?
Yeah.
Going live now.
And will we be able to see?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
All right. We will call to order our forum for the community regarding the superintendent selection process. And we'll note that there are 4 members present in person and 1 by teleconference. And we are joined by Mr. Don Martin from the Kentucky School Board Association, who is serving as our facilitator in this process. Just some general housekeeping. We would ask anyone that signs on our Google Meet that after you have spoken to please mute your feed so that we can hear everything adequately. And as long as our numbers are low, you can stay on that meet. If we see that a lot of people are joining, we're going to have to ask that you exit out of your Google Meet browser and join or follow along on YouTube on the school's live feed. We have some comments that have been submitted. There were a number of different ways for people to participate. They were able to mail or email comments in ahead of time to Ms. Cooper. So we have a few of those that Mr. Martin will be reading. And if you're participating on the Google Meet, we'd ask that you share your name with us beforehand so that we can just know who we're hearing from. And I will turn it over to Mr. Martin. We appreciate you being here, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Bradley. I am Don Martin. I'm an old retired superintendent from Northern Kentucky, and my wife wouldn't let me sit home doing nothing, so she kicked me out of the house and told me to find some extra work. So I'm a field consultant with the Kentucky School Board Association, primarily with the responsibility of superintendent searches. I've facilitated, this is my 26th superintendent search in Kentucky, and have enjoyed every one of them. Get to meet great people, and the process is a very good one. Let me outline the process for those people that are not aware of what is dictated by law and actually what we do in the process. When there is a vacancy in the superintendent's office in any district in Kentucky, at that point, the clock starts ticking about things that must be addressed in a timely manner. Within the first month or so, we have to have a search committee. Now, the definition of a search committee is that it's a group of people made up of 2 teachers, 1 classified member, 1 board member, 1 principal, 1 parent. Is that 6? Have I hit them all? I think I have. And 1 classified, I said classified member. And that's the manner in which they're chosen is expressly dictated in the law, and that cannot be varied in any way. So those elections are ongoing now in Woodford County and should be complete very, very soon. But that committee is charged with screening the applications using whatever method that they deem appropriate, and I have some suggestions for each one of the search committees that I'll work with. But they will screen the applications and eventually come to a conclusion that they will recommend a group of people or a slate of candidates that they would like the Woodford County Board of Education to consider in the employment of the next superintendent. The law in Kentucky says that the Board of Education can end up hiring someone from that list, or they may hire another person that has applied for the job that is certified. It's very rare, to be honest with you, that a Board of Education would not employ someone recommended by the search committee. I believe in the 25 that I have participated in, it has happened once, because this search committee does an outstanding job of gathering information, interviewing selective candidates, coming up with questions for candidates, and determining a lot of factors in the presentation of the candidates that they would like to present. So your question may be, okay, what is the search committee looking for in a superintendent? Very good question. And the answer primarily is what the criteria is that has been determined by the Board of Education. It is in the board policy of the Woodford County Board of Education that in order for the search committee to do their work well, that criteria has to be established by the Board of Education to be communicated to the search committee. And that will occur at what we call the first joint meeting. I believe sometime in the third week of March, we're going to have a meeting of the Board of Education and the search committee where the Board of Education will communicate their expectations to the search committee about what to look for. So this criteria that the board is going to be giving to the search committee, there's different ways at arriving at that. One of the ways that I offered that some districts have arrived at that information is to have a public forum. Now, I'll be honest with you, this is the first time I've had one virtually. Everyone that I've participated in has been in person. So this is going to be new for me, as well as it is new for everybody in this room and out there. But we think we can make it work. This is one bit of information that the Board of Education can use in a later meeting to determine the criteria that they're going to adopt that's going to assist the search committee in making the recommendations. It's not going to be the only criteria, but it's going to be one bit of information that they're going to be able to use. We ask that the ground rules be adhered to during our meeting. If we could limit the participation to about 3 minutes, I think everybody can get their point in at that time. Also, everybody should be respectful. This is not call-in radio after UK basketball lost their 13th game, okay? We don't want that. This is not a place to vent. It's not a place to express anger. This is going to be a situation where we're going to be starting from today. We're going to be as positive as possible, looking at the future for the students of Woodford County Schools. What do we want to see in a leader for the Woodford County school system? So we're talking about qualities. We're not talking about specific people. So please refrain from saying that I want my brother Joe or my cousin Jack or whatever to be the new superintendent of Woodford County. Stick with the qualities, those good qualities that Joe and Jack possibly have, but stick to that, please. Respectful of everyone. We can agree to disagree on things, but the comments that we should hear tonight should be respectful in every manner. No past, only future, and I believe the essential question that we're going to be discussing tonight is what qualities would you like to see considered in the employment of a new Woodford County superintendent? The board members are here. They are here to listen. This is not an official board meeting, so they cannot conduct board minutes. They are here just to listen to your comment. So please, when you address your comment, address it to the entire board and me, but don't ask questions. This is not a stage for a debate of any type. This is an information gathering formation, okay? So if everyone can agree to those, Ms. Bradley, being board chair, do you have anything else to add?
No, that's perfect. I would just echo, there won't be any board member discussion tonight. It's not an official meeting, so we're here to listen and welcome any community input.
Okay. Bob, you have something?
There's nobody online right now.
You mean I gave that big speech and nobody is on?
We all listen.
But people could look at it later. I mean, it's recorded.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
The other thing.
We will wait patiently.
You have two that are in.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. We do have I'm sorry, gotta get close to this mic. We do have a couple that were sent in by email, and I will take this opportunity to read that to everyone. This is from Bryant, and I hope I don't butcher this name, Choggett.
Oh.
Did I get it right?
Yes.
First attempt, I got it right. Oh, okay. Okay. A successful superintendent will be someone who possesses a multitude of talents. Woodford County Public Schools have a superior reputation in academic achievement, so it should go without saying that the next superintendent should possess the ability to continue this tradition. That will include valuing our teachers and supporting them in their pursuit to acquire new skills and teaching methods. It also includes supporting them financially so that we can retain the great talent we have and to improve our ability to recruit future educators. They should not ignore the needs or contributions of the classified personnel either. The pandemic has highlighted how essential these employees are to the successful operation of our schools. Just as important, however, is that the superintendent should have a heart for serving the community outside the four walls of our school buildings. The circumstances of our time have prevented great opportunity for collaboration during the local government, school district, and social service agencies to serve local families that have fallen on hard times. The school district does what it can and should be applauded for past and current efforts. The more we can do to relieve the stress from children's homes, the better positioned they are to capitalize on the opportunities presented by the world-class school system. In summation, a superintendent candidate should possess the leadership and technical skills to lead those on the ground in the schools, and also the compassion to help once those kids get home. I look forward to continuing the positive working relationship with whomever is chosen. Well, Brian, thank you very much. We also have a comment from Lori Deans. Dear Woodford County Board of Education, thank you for taking community input while conducting the search for a new superintendent. This is not something to take lightly, and this will impact our families and children for many years to come. Woodford County School District and the community as a whole has made great strides in the past several years to be more inclusive and diverse. My family applauds this effort. This community and school district are dependent on one another, and we must continue to work toward the same goals. Qualities that we need in a superintendent: a servant leader, someone with a true passion for the overall health and growth of this community. A strong collaborator, someone that sees the values others bring to the table, someone that doesn't have a priority of inserting their self and their viewpoint at every opportunity. A natural communicator, someone that is genuine with every group that work with. A proponent for inclusion and diversity, someone that promotes diversity and inclusion. I'm not advocating that the candidate pool be limited to only minority applicants, but this leader has to hold value in promoting the benefits of diversity and inclusion. This is a critical time for our community, and we must proceed quickly. Please listen and hear my comments. Best regards, Lori Deans. Thank you, Lori, for your comment. Angel, do we have any others?
Not at this time, sir.
Not at this time. Okay, so we will patiently stand by for someone to log on.
And to that end, we did check in today with the board attorney to find out about the parameters. Do we need to stay here from 6 to 8? And he said that that was not necessary, just kind of a good faith effort to make sure that we allowed time was acceptable for the board. I feel like the Jeopardy music should play or something.
Yeah, elevator music, Bob.
Thank you.
Can I read those again?
Of course. May I put your hand up? Thank you.
see if there's any comments on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, it is, Bob. Here.
The link was made public, so, so nobody's on there, they're just choosing not to.
Sure.
And I do think it's a good thing to note that this isn't the only avenue for folks to give us their input. I mean, I think throughout the whole process, there will be multiple opportunities for people to, participate in surveys and different things like that.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
whoever's speaking right now, it's extremely muffled and loud. It's like, it's almost staticky.
I had a difficult time last night.
Try.
Can you hear me now?
That's a little bit better, but it's still, I'm afraid if you speak in length, it's going to run together.
It could just be the acoustics in here, we've decided. What I was saying was that even if people don't participate tonight, they're not able to be in the forum tonight, that I feel like we have multiple opportunities for the public to be able to give us input throughout the process, and that we will be doing surveys and other things in addition. So there should still be ample opportunity for folks to give us input.
Ms. Richardson, could you hear me when I spoke?
Yes, I can hear you and I can hear the chair, but when Ms. Springate speaks, it's loud and it's almost so loud. I don't know if her microphone needs to be turned down a little bit.
We'll work on that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. What she was alluding to is that, as always, we welcome input from the community in any way that they are able to do that. Our email addresses are on the district website, and certainly any comments could still be submitted to Ms. Cooper, and she would share those with the board if people have something that they would like to share and aren't able to do that within the time constraints tonight.
Okay, thank you. I'm sure she wants them to be able to understand her as well. I just wanted to let you guys know that on this end, it's a little bit put together, kind of ran together when she talked.
Thank you. Mr. Martin, do you want to talk a little bit about some of the surveys on how that process has worked in other districts so that people will know when we are able to send that out?
Yes. Now, when districts ask for criteria, ask for public input to determine criteria, I think it behooves our community to participate as much as possible. I'll be honest with you, in some districts where I have facilitated, the board said, well, we've been elected by the citizens of this school district. I know what they want. I don't think we need a public forum. We don't need a survey. We will just decide for ourselves the criteria of a new superintendent. That is legal, and that's their prerogative. I think districts that want to be diligent in trying to find the best person for the position regardless will be open enough to open that avenue up to the public for them to offer their opinion. So the public forum obviously is one avenue of that. Surveys also provide a lot of information. I mean, the technology now is available to have a number of questions on a district website where people could go in and log in their preferences, and then you could hit a button, and 3 minutes later you have a summary of all the comments and the positions of the public and everything. And I have found out that particularly Kenton County, when I did that search, they gained a lot of information through that. Boone County did also last year. We had the same what we're having now. We had an in-person, well, it was in person then, not virtual, as well as surveys that they conducted. So it's very valuable. It's the public speaking to their board about their wishes. This is going to be the most important in a typical school district. The decision of hiring a superintendent is the most important decision that they will make during their time on the board. That and setting the tax rate and things of that nature. I understand all that. I'm a retired superintendent myself. But for setting the stage for the next 4 years, 8 years, whatever it is an extremely important part of the education of our children here in Woodford County. So I think it behooves our district here and all the citizens to provide positive input into your Board of Education, this is what we think makes a great superintendent. This is what I think the search committee should be concentrating on. And it's my job during these search committee meetings to make sure that the search committee stays focused upon that criteria. Now, if they start getting, it's never happened, but I'll give this as an extreme example. If they say we need a superintendent that'll fire the basketball coach, fire the football coach, no, we don't want that. And it hasn't gotten to that extreme at any district where I've worked. There have been minor instances where they've gotten off focus about the criteria that the board requested. So it's my job to bring them back to center and say, okay, that's a good point. However, we're here to concentrate on the criteria established by the board. And we're going to frame our questions to certain candidates that reflect that. And hopefully by the end of the process of the search committee, the cream has risen to the top, and they can make a recommendation possibly of 5 or 6 great candidates that the board can consider. Obviously, you'll have access to all of the information that they will. It'll just be at a little bit later time. But there's mountains of information that each candidate will be providing for us. We're in the middle of the application process. We've got about 2.5 more weeks. All the applications are coming to KSBA's secure mailbox. None of the applications are coming to anyone in the district. So if you hear that someone says, I know who's applied for the position, unless that candidate themselves divulge that to someone, I would take it with a grain of salt because even I at this point know no one that's applied officially for position because I haven't gone to that file yet. So it's a very streamlined way of maintaining confidentiality and efficiency during this whole process.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Gibson, we'll give it another 5 minutes and then encourage everyone to reach out to us. Again, our email addresses are all posted on the district website, and Ms. Cooper's is angel.cooper@woodford.kyschools.us, and anyone is welcome to submit anything to all of us, and we will absolutely take those comments to heart.
Maybe 6:26, so we can give to 6:30.
That sounds perfect.
Some people are probably wondering how many superintendent's jobs open up in a typical year. Well, so far this year, it's been a slow year, which is not at all bad. Sort of surprising with the conditions that everybody has been operating under. About 3 years ago, we had a peak. I think we had 33 searches going on in the spring, which really spread 3 people very thin. Last year wasn't quite as many, but obviously if you have that many, that's new superintendents still in the first contract, that if you have a couple years like that, you're not going to have a great deal of people retiring from that. So I think we're seeing some of that play out now that we have so many new superintendents. The average length of service now in Kentucky by superintendents is 3 years. Yeah, that's a little bit surprising to most people, but a lot of people retired 3 or 4 years ago, and that's why that number is so low now. We have a lot of new people in positions, new so to speak, within their first contract. I think at one time, and don't hold me to this, that I thought I heard the number that we had 120 odd superintendents in their first contract in Kentucky a couple of years ago, which is amazing. Yeah, so.
Two people. Okay, 2 minutes. I was excited for a second, Bob. I thought we had 2 people. Yeah. Okay.
I made a big bottle of water tonight. That's, a good thing.
I went with Coke thinking we would need the caffeine.
I've got both, just in case.
There are 28 people on the YouTube feed, but none have comments in the.
Okay.
Okay,
And,
well,
and we're just
Sure, go ahead.
one more comment. This process is going to be taking place, over the next several weeks, probably about 3-month period. I ask that the community not pressure people that's on the committee for information. They're going to be challenged by me to maintain confidentiality. I have seen firsthand what has happened if the confidentiality is breached. I had one district one time where the confidentiality was breached. It not only created a tough situation in that district, but 2 or 3 or 4 candidates that were applying for the position from other school districts. Word got back to those districts that they had applied and they did not want that to be made public at that time. So you can imagine the problems that presented. So I ask everybody in Woodford County, let that search committee, whoever it may be, do their job without any undue influence from anybody, and certainly no pressure about who has applied, who hasn't applied, who you're going to interview, who not, things of that nature. Just let them do their work, what they're supposed to do. And I guarantee this process will be a lot smoother. Thank you.
thank you. And we'll just do a last call here for anyone, if there's anyone watching on YouTube that wants to jump over to the Google Meet. Otherwise, we will wrap up for tonight and invite participation in lots of other ways. Look for a survey coming soon. And we appreciate everybody that signed on to watch tonight and the community that we serve. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
There's a motion by Ms. Springate,
Second.
a second by Ms. Glass. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion carries and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for your help tonight.